Have you ever looked at a car, a computer, or maybe just your morning toaster and wondered, how does this thing actually work? Well, chances are it works because of components. But what does component actually mean, and why is it so important? At its core, a component is simply a part of a larger whole. It's one piece of a system or object that works together with other pieces to fulfill a purpose. Think of components as puzzle pieces. On their own, they might not make much sense, but when you put them together, you see the bigger picture. A component is a part that combines other parts to make it something bigger. A component is a piece that brings together other pieces to create something larger. Let's start with an example, your smartphone. Every smartphone is made up of dozens of components. There's the battery, which powers the whole thing, the screen, where you swipe and tap, the camera, letting you capture every meal you eat, because we know the internet wouldn't survive without those photos. Then there's the processor, often called the brain of the device, quietly doing millions of calculations every second. Individually, these parts can't do much, but when you bring them together, voila, a device that connects you to the entire world. But components aren't just found in technology. They're everywhere, and they come in many forms. Think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yes, even lunch is all about components. You have the bread, arguably the structural framework. The peanut butter adds heft and protein, and the jelly, that's the flair, the sweetness that ties it all together. You could eat those ingredients separately, but together they become something so much better. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine a car. If you break it down, a car is really just a collection of components, like the engine, wheels, seats, and steering wheel. Without the engine, the car doesn't move. Without the wheels, well, you're not going anywhere fast. Each piece is essential, but it's only when they work in harmony that you have a functioning vehicle. What's fascinating is that this concept of components applies not only to physical objects, but also to ideas and systems. Let's take a team project, for instance. The final outcome, a brilliant presentation, a successful event, or maybe even a new invention, comes from the collective effort of different components: the strategist, the designer, the writer, and so on. Each person has a unique role. Together, they create something none of them could accomplish on their own. So why does understanding components matter? Because it highlights how interconnected everything is. The next time you flip on a light switch, drink a cup of coffee, or even just tie your shoes, remember, all those experiences are possible because of components working seamlessly together. And here's the real kicker. They remind us that even the smallest part can make a huge impact. Now it's your turn. Look around you. What components make up the things you use and love every day? Chances are, you'll start seeing the world in a whole new way.